Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Uci Rahmawati. At this point, I will explain about microeconomic. Microeconomic is a branch of economic study that aims to study consumer and company behavior, determine the market price of goods and service, and the quantity of input factor for goods and service that are traded. Data from microeconomic analysis are generally used to evaluate market values to produce theoretical explanation. In general, microeconomic examines how an economic actor makes decisions in economic activity that are influenced by various rational factors in making decisions. Scope of microeconomy. The scope of the microeconomic study covers a certain context so that the study does not get out of the context of the discussion. The narrow scope makes it possible to study the behavior of sellers and buyers as well as their interaction in the market for production factor. The scope of the microeconomic analysis can be: the first is cost and benefit analysis. This analysis is related to how to use the valued research to achieve an optimum level of satisfaction. The second, production theory or producer behavior. Study the behavior of producer in determining the level of production so as to produce maximum profit. And the third, demand, supply, and price balance in the market. The study examines how the three factors in the market affect the price of a good. Both the demand and supply factor for a good or service will raise the possibility of bargaining between buyers and sellers who eventually reach an agreement on a price known as the equilibrium price. Studying how the price of a good or service are formed in the market. This prices the effect of price change on the quantity demand. Some goods experience price increase when there is a lot of demand, but some are not affected by the number of requests. This factor can become microeconomic studies. The fifth is industry. Study how the flow of goods and services can be formed. Industry involves the market of manufactured goods, producer, consumer, and also distribution. Analyzing one of the four subjects can bring up rational possibilities in making economic decisions for other objects. The sixth is input market. Study how producer can obtain production material at minimum cost but produce goods or services that have high selling value. And the seventh is use value theory or customer behavior. Study how an item produces use or satisfaction to consumer who buy or use this manufactured good. The last is flow of good market. Studying the good that consumers are looking for and needing, as well as examining what kind of good can be purchased by consumer. And microeconomic goals. Microeconomic study aims as an analyst to find out the failure of an economic discussion, then generate rational analysis and generate theoretical analysis results that allow the analysis of various theoretical conditions needed to achieve a perfectly competitive market. Economic study also aims to observe the behavior between producer and consumer who interact in the market. This behavior is useful for analyzing its effect on the demand and supply of goods and service, determining price and determining is my explanation about microeconomics which can be present on this auction. I apologize if there is a word mistake. Hopeful my explanation can be a source of reference and information and useful for all of you. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I end with Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.